Tokyo is the heartbeat capital of Japan. It's the most populated metropolis in the world, with over 40 million residents and a vast urban sprawl powered by innovative technology, diverse neighborhoods, incredible cuisine, and flashy nightlife. Tokyo has one of the most efficient and extensive public transportation systems I've ever experienced. It's incredibly punctual and clean, with one of the most complex and intimidating subway systems as well. I mean, just look at it. But after a couple runs, you get acclimated to it quickly. Since most people utilize the train system, it can get really busy in some stations. It's a true sight to behold, as the chaos to catch and fit on the train is so orderly and everyone respects each other's space. There are helpful, color-coded signs on the floor to help guide you to where you need to board, and I found them to be extremely useful, more than my phone. Taxis are also widely available, and while they're not cheap, I do recommend taking one just for the sheer experience of comfort and reliability. One of the coolest trains I've found in the region is actually in Chiba, a smaller city just southeast of Tokyo. It's basically an elevated track that runs throughout the city as a monorail, but what sets it apart is the overall design. At first glance, it almost looks like the train tracks have been inverted and the train cars hang upside down. It's a scene right out of the movie Inception, watching this go by while minimizing interference with ground level traffic and being incredibly quiet at the same time. Of course, I had to experience this for myself and hopped on board this unique monorail. Once you get moving, it definitely begins to feel like you're casually flying above everyone else. The train does pivot and sway on turns, but by Japanese standards, it's entirely safe and worthwhile to ride on if you're ever in Chiba. Tokyo has a vast variety of different districts, and for all intensive purposes of this video, I'll explore the ones I found to be the most interesting to travelers. I'll start with Shinjuku, arguably the most popular and dynamic sector in all of Tokyo. It's essentially a wild entertainment district lined with neon-lit streets, a bunch of restaurants, and vibrant signs advertising bars and nightclubs. Just by walking around, I met plenty of unique characters and aspiring street performers. This was also my first introduction to experiencing capsule hotels in Japan. I ended up booking several nights near the epicenter of Shinjuku and learned all the pluses and minuses of the capsule life. It's basically a hive with individual pods stacked one on top of the other, with around 40 in total. Similar to bunk-style hostels, you get a small locker, and sound insulation is limited, making it a toss-up of whether or not you get a good night's rest. I had no real issues, but I'm curious to know other people's experience if you've stayed. Comment below and let me know how it went. Away from the bright neon lights of Shinjuku's main sector lies a small, nostalgic, and atmospheric alleyway. It loosely translates to Memory Alley, offering a glimpse into Tokyo's past during the 1940s. Walking around, you'll notice several tightly packed and dimly lit pubs, as well as a number of stalls selling different grilled meats. It's worth seeing it come alive in the evening as well, but be warned, it can get very crowded, customers reporting being overcharged, and the strong smell of burning coal and cigarettes will linger in the alleyways. Instead, I recommend checking out Golden Gai. It's another throwback to Tokyo's past, and this area has evolved into a haven for artists, writers, and musicians. There's an impressive concentration of tiny cocktail bars, each with its own unique theme, and most can only accommodate a handful of patrons at a time. I recommend going in, making friends with the locals, and see where the night takes you. Shinjuku as a whole is just a fun place to explore, even if some people might see it as over the top or even sketchy. It's always a lively atmosphere, and it's hard to miss one of the main characters that lives here. I'm referring to Godzilla, whose head sits atop a rooftop in the main street and has a ton of memorabilia you can scout for in most of the shops. I was in Tokyo in December when the new Japanese-made Godzilla film called Godzilla Minus One was premiering at the Toho Cinema. It was a great opportunity to see the King of Monsters on the big screen, especially the new Max 4D experience. Shinjuku Station is a massive maze of interlinking tunnels and levels, but if you somehow make it out to the west exit, that's where the main tech stores and restaurants are. It's much more quieter than the other side, and there are a couple shops worth looking into, as well as a bunch of claw machines. I never had any luck to win a single stuffed animal. Wrapping up some memorable times around Shinjuku. Oh, all right, cheers everybody. Oh, come by. I took a 10-minute train ride south to the busy, fast-paced, half-brother district of Shibuya. The main eye-catcher here is the Shibuya crossing, or scramble. A major intersection where people cross from all directions. It's a pretty surreal experience the first time I had to cross. It's not the busiest I've been in, but I do appreciate the controlled chaos that goes on here. There's a rooftop called Mag's that's relatively new and overlooks the crossing from above. You pay 1,500 yen for entry and a drink is included. I think it's cool to come around lunchtime to hang out and watch the world move below. Fun for a while, but in the end, it's just a crossing. I wanted to get a bird's eye view of Tokyo. I bummed around and looked for an elevator that could take me up to the rooftop of one of the tallest buildings nearby. Experience ascending to the rooftop is definitely unique and builds up anticipation, I won't lie. As you reach the final escalator, you're treated to the sprawling metropolis of Tokyo as far as the eye can see. The views are mostly unobstructed, and you really get a sense of the ever-evolving cityscape of Tokyo all around you. I've been to many observation decks in the past, but this one hit different. You really feel like you're being suspended freely over a diverse city of 40 million people. On clear days, Mount Fuji can be seen towering far out in the distance, and there are designated spots for professional photography. It was a little cloudy when I went, but I prefer that over a completely sunny day. Overall, I recommend booking this experience ahead of time to see Tokyo from a different perspective. There's a vintage cafe available on the same floor for refreshments, as well as some sort of ball pit, but it's primarily used for photo shoots. Shibuya's entertainment district is okay. I just didn't really find a lot to do in the area, besides paying a visit to the beloved statue of Hachiko the Akita. Celebrating his 100th birthday, this statue was commemorated to celebrate the loyalty, patience, and undying love for his owner during the early 20th century in Japan. I'll move on to the district of Asakusa, a historic and vibrant ward of Tokyo that offers a bustling shopping avenue filled with traditional Japanese shops. This is where the big Sensoji Temple is also located, celebrating a number of festivals and ceremonies throughout the year. It gets quite busy here in the daytime, so people post up near the massive red lantern that symbolizes prosperity and good fortune. I stayed here for most of the day, and as evening came, I biked over to the nearby Tokyo Skytree. Rising to a height of 634 meters, this is one of the tallest structures in the city and is pretty iconic in Tokyo skyline. It looks amazing at night too, with revolving lights and reflective shadows. I unfortunately dropped the ball in securing a ticket to go up to the observation deck, but overall, I think it's best to be admired from up close in the evening hours. The other tower, located across town, is the Tokyo Tower, rising to around 333 meters. Resembling the Eiffel Tower by design, it's a beautifully constructed freestanding tower draped with the iconic orange and white color scheme. Again, it's one of those marvels of Tokyo that I mostly enjoy seeing up close rather than from above, so I didn't go up this tower either. I was surprised by the cafeteria inside though, where a lot of mostly international meals can be purchased. The Tokyo Tower is also illuminated every night, making for some spectacular photos. The final district I want to cover is Akihabara. This is a fun, playful part of Tokyo that is the epicenter of Japanese otaku culture, which covers anime, manga, video games, and electronics. Just coming out of the train station, I immediately felt transported into some sort of gaming paradise. It's got a lively atmosphere with floors and floors of Japanese pop culture, cosplay scenarios, and innovative technology. There are plenty of maid cafes as well, if you're into it. It's fun to get lost around here, as I started to feel like a kid running around a toy store. It's the innocent, childlike wonder that lives and breathes here that sets the stage for exploring as much as possible. Everything lights up even more in the evening, and I took a walk inside one of the bigger stores here to take a closer look at the merchandise. Each floor is organized to a different theme and various characters from different universes. It's especially fun to walk around and see how many characters you can recognize from your own childhood and get introduced to others you never knew existed. There are a ton of throwbacks, rare collectibles, that I got completely immersed in exploring every inch of these specialty stores. Everything has its own little place, and the amount of things I found here that I probably won't be able to find back home is staggering. It's cool getting acquainted with the Japanese cast of characters as well, some bordering on the bizarre, but that's what makes them stand out. There are stores that supply parts for building realistic dolls, K-pop memorabilia, and some interesting gravity-defying character models.
Okay, so we reached the American section here on floor number 8, where we have all the guns that are readily available for purchase.
I was a little shocked when I first saw a wall of assault rifles, since this is Japan, but they ended up being replicas for airsoft battles. There's all sorts of military builds, keepsakes, and other random things that I wanted to buy so bad, and it really takes some resilience to stay within budget. So many different card games are also here, and overall, I feel like there's something for everyone that can bring them back to their childhood days. Akihabara is definitely different and unique in its own way, and I also explored the nearby street that sells all things cooking related. It's a good opportunity to buy various kinds of hibachi blades as well, that are highly regarded as the best in Japanese engineering. I also recommend the nearby market, close to Ueno, that not only sells reasonably priced products, but is something to explore for both locals and tourists. There are some more wacky items to buy, small shops to explore, and just taking a day to sample some delicious food items at discount prices. There are lots of local vendors, including ones that sell the popular social snack called takoyaki. They're basically grilled batter balls filled with octopus. You season them with onion flakes, some soy-based sauce, furikake, and enjoy. So this wraps up some of my time in Tokyo. I left out some footage for another time, including some hidden gems, so stay tuned. For my next video, I'll go over some day trips from Tokyo, including Yokohama, Enoshima, and Nikko. These places have elevated my time in Japan even more, and I can't wait to share them. If you like this video on Tokyo, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me for more content around Japan and beyond. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.